Good morning, everybody. Looks like our video wanted to start over again. J.R. Fisher here, and we have Jessica with us today. You want to say hello, Jessica?
Good morning, everybody. I will be over in the chat box if y'all have any questions during the webinar today.
Yeah, about that chat box, guys. Find the chat box because I answer questions. Today is Friday in the USA. I know we've got people from all around the world, and I want to see where you're from too. So if you would find that chat box over there, we've got a definite full house today. You do not want to log out. If you log out, you are not going to get back in. I can tell you that right now because there are people knocking on the door. I'm not quite sure how they're doing that, but I hear them. They will get your spot if you log out. So do not log out. Okay, don't do that. That would be a bad thing. But if you don't mind, you know, find your chat box there. I'm going to get over to my PowerPoint. I got a little PowerPoint going on. Nothing fancy, but just to, you know, keep me on track, make sure I'm doing the right thing. And I want to look at, see who all is here today. Okay, we've got Johan in there, and I'm not sure where you're at, Johan. Maybe it says here. Let me click. South Africa, yes. We've got Nathan. I just talked to Nathan. I think it was last night. Yeah, he's from Canada. Very, very cool. Vincenzo from London is there. So the rest of you go ahead and post in there where you're from. We've got Texas, another UK in there. We've got Brazil. I see Linda in Sarasota, Florida. So we've got, man, we got all kinds of crazy times. Some of you guys, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's really cool. We've got Lily, who is in North Carolina. Hello, Lily. How are you doing today? Good to see you. So we've got some really cool stuff. Who else? I got Christian from Spain. Christian Jimenez is from Spain. So very cool. Nice to see you in there. So we've got, I can't read them all off, but man, I love reading them. So stick them in there. I do want to see that. All right. That's really cool, guys. So let's get started because today's subject, and let me get this on the screen so you can see it. Today's subject is about building a cash machine email list. This was the biggest mistake I ever made when I first started. I sat there and I was like, yeah, email list. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to have to do all that. And back then it really was a lot of work because that was like 2009. And back then they really didn't have all these email responders and stuff. And today, not only am I going to tell you how to do this list and how you build it, but I'm also going to tell you where to find a list, what they cost as far as email providers. I'm even going to tell you what to send out because that was the thing that used to drive me nuts. I'd sit at my desk. I'm like, well, what am I going to write? What am I going to write? And then I found myself just, you know, putting a whole bunch of ads and, you know, trying to sell my products, and I wasn't getting responses, and it was just a nightmare. I don't know if any of you have tried that. You know, if so, you can put your comments there in the box. But I mean, it was difficult. It was really, really hard. So I was not good at that. Over the years, that's changed. And if I knew, you know, everybody says this, right? If I knew, you know, back then what I knew now, the number one thing I would have done is build my email list before I even built the website. I know that sounds insane, but I want you to think of it this way. What if you were going to start a restaurant that, I don't know, sold barbecue, whatever it is? What if you had a list of people that loved your barbecue and had already tasted it and was willing to buy it the day you open your doors? Would that be awesome? I mean, that'd be pretty cool, right? So that's pretty much what a list is. It's these crazy raving fans that really love you and want what you've got because of what you do. So I'm going to talk today about what you need to do and how we're going to build this list, because there's several ways to do it, some pretty unique ways and some traditional ways. And some of the other ways that did work back then do not work anymore because, you know, I've got this little picture here that you're looking at now. Nobody wants to join a mailing list anymore. So if you have a pop-up and it says join our mailing list, you might as well just take it down because it's not going to work. I'm not saying pop-ups don't work, because pop-ups, they work great, but saying join my mailing list, that is not going to work. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So let's talk about what we do want to do. Okay, first off, why are these lists so darn important? Because they are important, right? Well, the first reason is you can actually build your brand. when you have a mailing list, you know, your name of your company, if it's a personal one, your name, your niche, everything, you're building that brand right now. And that brand is going to have value on down the road. So that email list allows you to be able to do that. Here's something cool: guaranteed extra income. Now, what do I mean by that? I know for a fact, because our list is big enough now, I can send out an email and make instant money. I could do that right now. As a matter of fact, if I did, how to do it live on these webinars, just send out a really bad email, but I don't want to do that because I want to mess up my list. But I could send out almost anything and offer something for sale, and somebody's going to buy because the list is big enough now. That's a pretty cool thing that you can just ring the bell for cash anytime you want to do that. But we're going to talk in a second about what you should and shouldn't do on your list, because if you do that, in other words, if I were to sit there and say, hey, I've got this case of survival canned meats, why don't you buy some? And I did that 4 times in a day. The 4th time, I wouldn't do so well. Okay, the first time I'm going to do great, but we don't want to do that too much. But we do have a schedule of how we want to do this, and I'm going to share that with you at the end here so that you know exactly what to do. It can provide useful content. So, you know, our list is not all about, and this is what I thought in the beginning, it was all about just selling people stuff. It's not that. You know, when you get these emails from, I don't know, Home Depot or, you know, a local restaurant, it seems like they're always trying to sell you stuff. But what if your local restaurant every now and then sends you emails and it was a video of some of the recipes they had at the restaurant, and those people were actually cooking the recipes, and then you could download the recipe and you could make it at home. I guarantee you, if they did that a couple times a week, you know, and we tell businesses to do this, if they did that a couple times a week, you know what? All the other emails are going to get open for their dinner specials. So that's really important. It's a company asset. When, you know, internet companies are sold, one of the first things people ask are, do you have a list and how big is it? If it is a huge list and it's been producing, that makes your business worth more money. So that's really, really cool that you can build that list. And in many ways, you can do it free, and it can become something of great value too. So it doesn't rely on a platform. You own those names. Now, here's the scary thing, and we all do it, right? Like I have Facebook groups. Some of you are in my Facebook group. If you're not, you're welcome to join. It's called The Art of E-Commerce Success, The Art of E-Commerce Success. But let me tell you something. You know, that group could go away tomorrow. You know, Facebook could say, we don't allow groups anymore, and I lose everybody, or they could ban my account. I mean, anything could happen. So if you're relying on these other platforms, like a page with likes, or, you know, a group in Facebook, and you haven't built a list, you own nothing. They can take it away from you instantly. Same thing on YouTube. You know, you could have a million followers, and if they close your account, then what? You know, even if you're making money off it. But if you've got an email list, you own those names. So that's a really cool thing. So how much can you make from your email list? Now, it depends on so many different factors, but you can make a lot of money. Let's look at, you know, what percent of your income could be made from a list. Check this out. 70 to 80% of your business could come from your list. And, you know, I talked to people from all around the world. I was talking to, and I don't know if Marilyn's in here or not the other day, but Marilyn's doing a really good job. She's in Barcelona, Spain. She's actually from the US, but she has a list of people and she doesn't mail them. And so, you know, and she didn't have any upsells, downsells, anything to her product, and she wasn't making much profit. But if she had added those things, if she had emailed her list, look at the difference. 70 to 80% of your business comes from your list. And here's the other scary part. Soon you won't be able to compete. Now, let me explain to you why you won't be able to compete. Because if I have a list and I know I'm going to make money off my list and I'm mailing them, and you don't have a list and you're not mailing anybody, I can afford to pay more for a lead than you can. So I can squeeze you out of the market, because I know, like, for example, if somebody spends $10 with our company, we already have the statistics on this, that over the next 6 months, they're probably going to spend another $320, of which $140 is going to be profit. Now, if that's the case, I can spend $140 for a buying customer. How much can you spend for one? Well, if you're selling products that are $10 or $20 or $15 or something, and you're not making $140 on your very first sale, you can't compete with me, because I'm following up with all these emails. So it's really important. So next thing I want to do is, if you don't have an email list, I want to talk about the top 10 email providers. And guys, Jessica is monitoring any questions. So if you have any questions as I'm going through this, because I know I sometimes go fast, just type those questions in that chat box down there. We've definitely reached our maximum capacity right now, guys. Don't log out. If you log out, you will lose your spot. So let's look at the top email providers right now. Now, some of these I've had personal experience with, others I have not. I pretty much know all of them, and I can kind of tell you what they're going to do. And we're going to even show you the cost of some of these. One thing I will tell you, when you start with a low-end email provider, and what I mean when I say low-end, not that there's anything wrong with them, but the ones that don't have as many bells and whistles, the ones that let you get in really, really cheap. As you build your list, you're going to have to move. And here's why you're going to have to move, because once your list gets big, they are very expensive. And the ones that don't charge a lot for huge lists are really expensive to get into. So you're going to have to switch platforms at some point. So the first one I want to talk about is Constant Contact. They've been around for many years. I started with Constant Contact in 2010. We did outgrow it. They couldn't do some of the marketing things we wanted to do. And I don't really know what they do now, but it's not the preferred email list anymore. They're out there and they advertise a lot. You'll see them advertising a lot. Personally, if I was starting with a list, I would not start with Constant Contact, but they're there, you know, and if you like them, you like them, and you like what they do, cool, then go ahead, do it. The next one is going to be Aweber. This is one of my favorites, and I'm actually going to have Jessica post in the comments section now where you can get a deal on Aweber. There's going to be a link in that comment section, so you guys can see it. Hey, there's Vinny from London. I see Vinny. He just popped in. Must have grabbed somebody's spot. Good to see you, Vinny. So Aweber is a really good one. Aweber will allow you to build, campaigns in there so that you can offer your sales funnel to people. So I would highly recommend Aweber, especially if you're just starting out. They're very inexpensive, and I'm going to go over the cost of it in just a second too. The next one I would recommend is GetResponse. I have not used GetResponse. I have a lot of clients, friends that use GetResponse. They're very happy with it, but I can't tell you about it personally, but I will go over the cost on that in just a second also. The next one up is MailChimp. MailChimp is one you can actually get into for free, as you can with some of these others. And they let you stay in there for free for a while, but you're not going to be able to do some of the more intricate type things that we do or that you're going to need to do on down the road. But it's a fine one to start with. Next one is ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign does allow you to do certain campaigns and tag people or put them in folders, whatever you want to call it. It's like, every one of these email providers, when you attach information to a customer, calls it something different. Some of them call them folders. Some of them, Infusionsoft calls it tags, which is the last one I'm going to talk about, which is Infusionsoft. Now, Infusionsoft is one of the higher end ones. And I know, somebody put in the comment there are more email providers. Yes, I know there are more email providers. Okay. I'm not putting every single email provider that is in the world there. Okay. I'm putting the ones that I think are really good ones. Infusionsoft is a really, really good one. Infusionsoft, you can build some very elaborate campaigns in there, and based on actions, where people click in your email, you can direct them to different sequences and funnels. So that's pretty cool. So what does Aweber cost? Aweber is going to cost you at the time I just researched this. They're going to give you a free trial, and after that, it's like $19 a month. Okay. Now they're going to get more expensive as your list grows, but once again, Jessica's putting a link in that comment box down there, guys. So if you want to check out Aweber, you can click on that link and you'll get a really good deal on it. Next one, Constant Contact. They have a 60-day free trial. You don't have to put a credit card or anything in there. And then they're going to start at about $20 a month. And they cannot do some of the things that some of these other campaign email providers can do, but they do advertise a lot. So I thought I would at least mention them, gave them a mention. GetResponse. They give you a $30-day free trial, and their pricing starts at about $15 a month. And I do suggest that you look through all of these. Don't base everything just on price. Don't do that, because you're going to get what you pay for in most cases, and sometimes a lot less. Next one is MailChimp. MailChimp offers a forever free plan, which allows you 12,000 emails for up to 2,000 subscribers, and their plans start at $10. They are cheaper, but they do not have really the e-commerce capabilities of doing funnels and all these other cool things that you could do. Yes? You don't, oh, Jessica's putting her thumbs down. She says she does not like MailChimp. Why do you not like MailChimp? I'm going to let her chime in for a second here.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty biased because I really love Infusionsoft, but I started out years ago with MailChimp, and it just doesn't have capability. It's very difficult to design the way you want to design, and it wasn't worth it to me.
Okay, and somebody else is saying, yeah, the ease of use is very, very difficult with MailChimp. Yeah, I mean, it's popular, so I want to let you guys know about it. You know, I recommend Aweber and Infusionsoft, but it's out there. So there's another opinion, right? Active Campaign, obviously this tells you something right here. Active Campaigns start at $9, and in their name it says you can do campaigns there. Campaigns are very, very important because that's going to allow you to do all your follow-up emails and automate all these things. So, you know, definitely want to check out that. Excuse me, that one. What do we got up next here? Slide. Okay, Infusionsoft. Now, some of you are going to go, holy crap, that's expensive. It looks expensive. I understand that. But, you know, I was comparing the other day 150,000 people on a list. Okay, now you may not have 150,000 people on your list, but believe me, you can get there real fast. And it costs about, gosh, a little 300 and some odd bucks, I think, for 150,000 names on Infusionsoft. And I looked and I compared it to one of these lower end ones, and it would have cost $1,700 a month if you grew your list to that size with one of these lower end ones. So that's something that you got to look at. You know, how expensive is it going to grow to be? You know, what's going on there? So on down the road, you're going to have to switch. If you can't afford Infusionsoft to start off with, I get it, man. $100 a month, that's a lot to have an email provider, a lot of money. But if you can afford it, I would highly recommend you starting off with Infusionsoft. And here's why: because it's going to be able to do so much more. You're going to be able to get so much more sales out of your customers because of all the campaigns you can build in there and all the little nuances to it. Okay, so that is one that if you can afford that $99, man, that's the way to go. It really, really is. So now we're going to get into the 7 secrets of building this cash machine list, because it really is a cash machine. All right, so the first one is you want to create lead generating offers. Now, these are called lead magnets. Now, what a lead magnet is, it's an offer to give somebody something of value in exchange for their email. It used to be you could say, hey, you want to be on my email list? I'll send you an email. And everybody's like, oh my God, yeah, I'd love to get an email. Well, it's not like that anymore, right? We unsubscribe constantly and we get spam constantly. So you got to offer something of real value. You know, we do things like, you know, 7 ways to start a fire in the woods when you don't have matches, or, you know, 10 ways to protect your home from intruders. Because, you know, we're all about survival at Survivalcave Food. You know, if we were talking about my training, obviously it would be ways to make money online, you know, 10 ways to, you know, sell your first product on the Shopify store, that type of thing. So all it is it's a PDF, it's a download. Usually it could be a video, it could be a, you know, video lesson. If you're not good at that, and you're not good at writing those things, you can go to Text Broker. That's TEXT, and Jessica can put that in the comment section there. It's textbroker.com. And pretty much at Text Broker, you can say, hey, I want a, you know, 500 to 800 word blog, or, you know, 10 steps to something. And you can just tell them what you want. They will actually research and write that for you for about $18 to $20. So it's well worth it. If you're not good at writing, you know, I'd suggest you get good, number one. But number two, if you're not, there are ways of getting around that. So that's your first way that you can get some names. And believe me, it'll get some names. I'm going to show you an example of one of our sites in just a second. I'm going to show you how we get some names. The next one is do a contest. I love doing this. We run a contest on Facebook, and it's for free survival food. You know, it's a bucket of food, or it's a case of meat or whatever. And we use a company called Contest Domination. And what's really cool about Contest Domination is that when somebody enters the contest, they get a certain number of points, obviously, to win. But if they want to get more points, all they got to do is refer a friend. Okay, now that's the really cool thing about it, is when they refer a friend, We then get that lead also. And some people will go in there and refer 5 or 10 friends. So it's really, really worth it to, get these extra names because they cost you nothing when they refer them. You're initially, if you're running an ad on Facebook, you're going to have to pay for that lead. You're going to see, every time somebody clicks and fills out your form to, win your free giveaway, you're going to pay for that. But once they get to your site, which would be Contest Domination, where that site is hosted, when they refer 5 or 6 more people, all those people are free. So it's a really cool way to build your list. Next one is have pop-ups with giveaways and discounts and downloadables. So, I talked a couple minutes ago about, if you have a pop-up that says join our email list, you're probably not going to get anybody to opt in. But if you have a pop-up that says, hey, we're giving away $500 in free survival food, or, I'm giving away $500 in e-commerce training, people are going to give you their email if that matches the page they're on. If it's a store, it's a Shopify store and you're selling products, it could be, 20% discount on your first purchase today. Enter your email here to, claim that coupon. It could be a downloadable. It could be something that, like I talked about before, 10 steps to something. It could be a video, something like that, but you can embed these into pop-ups on your site. So this is for traffic that's already coming to your site. Next one is you can use Facebook groups. Now, we have Facebook groups, and the cool thing about groups right now is, they're all the rage because people are actually in there talking, they're sharing information. But the cool thing you can do on your group is to allow somebody to join your group, ask them 3 questions. The 3 questions could be, do you abide to our rules? Number 2 could be, what subjects are you interested in this group? And number 3 could be what? An email, okay? So we're going to put you on an email list and send you free training. We're going to put you on an email list and send you free offers. So that is a free thing to do too, because if you have a group and people are joining your group and they're popping their email in there, you're getting names for free. And names, we just talked about, are like cash. They're an asset. So that's a really, really cool thing you can do to get some emails. The next one is you can send paid traffic to your site, okay? So you can run an ad and they can opt in, and you can run traffic to a blog. You can run it to product pages or whatever, and get their emails by doing it that way. So I'm going to show you a really cluttered site here. And whose site is this? This is mine. And it's really cluttered because this speaks to survivalists. Survivalists like getting a lot of cool stuff. So let's look at it. I've got free downloads in the top right there. 7 cybersecurity tips. Download it now, okay? Now, the thing I do with these, which you're not going to see because I'm not going to run you through the funnel, but when they download some of these, they're going to actually go to a product page after that where they can actually buy a product. So not only am I going to grab their email, I'm going to give them an offer. What's the next one there? 5 cool ways to purify water, okay? A survivalist wants to know how to purify water. We know that. So we have a download where they can get that. 10 FEMA mistakes and how to protect your family against them. We all know that FEMA makes mistakes, right? The government, God, they make more mistakes than any of us, right? So they can do that. Somebody's putting a comment in here, and whoops, my screen went away. I'll get it back, guys. I just want to take a look at this. They say, hi, I want to use Facebook ads to bring people to my squeeze page. Having problems. Can you help? Of course we can help. Do you have a way to figure it out myself? It's really going to be on the type of ad you run. That's from Steve out there. Let me get back to my screen. We were doing pop-ups. We were doing paid traffic. I think we're at, guys. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about free giveaways here. Look at some of the other giveaways have here, because I'm going to give you some ideas and you can incorporate this. On the bottom, oh wait, I skipped one, didn't I? Weird survival tools that work. That kind of gets people's interest. If it's weird, you can always put weird in your opt-in, and that's what I would tell Steve. Maybe you have something strange or different, or it's counterintuitive to what everybody knows. Put that in your ad. I've got a free book down there to the bottom left. I wrote that book. It's called The Great American Food Shortage. People who are interested in survival food go, well, what's that? And we actually give away the free book, but that's a free plus shipping offer, so they do play shipping. And another thing you can do is test. Take this test. The next thing you notice, test your knowledge. Are you a true survivalist? Well, everybody who's a survivalist wants to believe they're a true survivalist, right? So they can click there to take that test. And at the end of the test, they have to put in their email to get the answers. Okay, so that's how we're going to capture it. Then we got a cool survival tool next to that. They can opt in and get that survival tool for free, but it is plus shipping, so we're actually selling that. Same thing with the credit card knife next to it right there. So, and I think Jessica's typing some answers over there to somebody. Is that right? I see it. I see a ton of questions coming in. That's cool. Let's see here, and I'm weeding through some of this. Oh my gosh, it was so full of people today. Linda's got a question. Jessica, I can't see it on my screen. What is Linda's question there? Can you see that? We want to address that.
I can't open it until I finish answering.
Oh, she's all right. So Linda, she's going to read that out in just 1 second. If I click on it, it jumps off my PowerPoint somehow. Linda's one of our favorite people out there. Talk to her a lot. Next one you can do is YouTube videos, and we do this too. You know, YouTube will allow you to pre-populate the description section of your videos. You just got to go into, and I could do a video on that at some point, but you got to go into your settings, and in your settings, you can pre-populate some information. So that information could be free downloads that people can click on, and when they go there, you capture their email. It could be links to your website where you capture their email. So if you're doing any YouTube videos, these things are all free. So, you know, there's 7 ways, but now we're going to talk about what we're going to do with the list, because that's even more important, right? So let's take a look at that. People saying, I love those ideas. Cool, cool. Steve has even put his squeeze page there, Jessica. Maybe we can copy that and take a look at that in a little bit.
Yeah, we can. Steve, I actually responded to Steve and told him that we needed to see his Facebook ad and his landing page and his targeting, and cool. I told him to post it in the Facebook group so we can.
That's a great thing to do, Steve, because you know, post it in the group. There's a lot of very experienced people in there, you know, along with myself and my team, and we look at all that stuff. So if you would post that in the Facebook group, and then the cool thing about doing that, and some people don't want to do it because they want to get beat up. Don't worry about it. We don't do that. We'll tell you what's right, what's wrong, but the cool thing is you'll be helping some other people too, because they may be having that same issue. Somebody else is saying they want to post some stuff in there. You can do it. Not a problem. All right. So how often to mail your list? Okay. That is the question. How often to mail your list? And I'm going to move my screen here, which means the other thing's going to go away in just a second. But that's okay. We're going to be right back because I have to be able to read it. Not only how often to email, but what to email. That was the problem I had. I would sit down and go, what am I going to send them? I don't have anything interesting, you know? What am I going to do? So first off, you need to stay in contact with your list. You know, if you build a list, right, and you never email them, and then one day you email them, it's going to look like that little kid right there. They're going to be like, what? They're emailing me? Oh my God, why are they emailing me? What's going on here? And they're going to be more likely to unsubscribe. And I want you to write this down if you don't know it. Your subscribers are going to be more likely to unsubscribe if you email infrequently than if you email frequently. Why is that? Because they're not used to it. You know, they don't know you, and you're all of a sudden after 3 months you send them an email. They're like, well, I don't want that. But if you nurture your list, which I'm going to tell you how to do that in just a second. I know I'm running long today, but this is some really good information that's going to help you. If you email your list on a regular basis, and I'm going to tell you how regular and what to do it in just a second. And also, guys, don't forget this video. We're going to put it up in the group, the Facebook group. It'll also be, if you're a member of the Digital Cash Academy, it'll be in there for you to look at for reference to later on. So let's talk about this. Think about this. If you don't email your list, why have an email list, right? I know I was so worried in the beginning. I was like, man, I don't want to email these people. They could unsubscribe. Well, if I don't email them, you know, they're not subscribed anyhow, right? What's the point? So don't be afraid to email your list. They knew when they put their email in that you were going to send them an email. They're just waiting to see what that email is going to be and if it's going to be worthwhile, okay? They don't want to get emails like they don't want 30 emails a day. You can't do that. You can't overuse your list, but they do expect to get them. So let's talk about what we can do about that. When should you email? What is you know, the day, the time, all that good stuff. You're going to have to play around with this a little bit. You know, we found out that if we're going to email stuff about survival food, we like to do it just before lunch, right? Why is that? Because they're hungry, right? they're more likely to buy, you know, an 11 o'clock email on food than they are a 2 o'clock email on food when they're full. So that's how often we email, okay? Now, some of you may say, every day? Are you serious? Every day? If people were trying to sell me stuff every day, I'd unsubscribe. Well, it's not us trying to sell you something every day. It is really more the fashion of how we email people, okay? So I want to get into that. Now, I know people who have lists, and they actually will email 3 times a day or 4 times a day. I know a guy who's in the survival niche, and he has an offer in the morning, offer in the afternoon, offer in the morning, offer in the afternoon. So that's more than I would want to do, and that's not the way I would want to do it, but it works for him. So you do have to email frequently, though. So what should you email? There's the big question. I mean, what are you actually doing? And I'm going to give you a sample of some of the stuff we do, and it may give you an idea for what you want to do. So the first thing you're going to want to do is email content. What is content? Content is anything that's going to be related to whatever your niche is. Okay, so let's say you're in dog training. Okay, let's say that's your thing, dog training. You may want to shoot a video of you doing a simple thing with your dog at the house and showing people how it works. And they'll watch that and they'll go, wow, that's really cool. That's interesting. And not only that, but they get to see your dog. They get to see you. You build up your brand. They got useful information. So you want content. You know, we send out stuff about survival. Okay, we have a blog, and we'll send out some PDFs, some downloads, some tips, some tricks, all to do with survival. So whatever your niche is, you know, you want to send out some content. And that piece of email that you're sending out as content, do not sell in that content. Don't do it. You know, let them see that sometimes they just get good value from you. Next thing is you're going to send out your offers. Okay, your offer is anything you're offering to sell, or your services, those things that you do for people. And here's something you may not have thought about, and I'm going to talk about this in just a second, other people's offers. There's a way that, you know, sometimes you may not have enough offers. Sometimes you don't have enough content. So you can send out other people's offers. One place you can find those is at clickbank.com. Jessica's going to put that in the comments section, clickbank.com. You can set up an account at ClickBank, and you can find digital offers. You can find physical offers. And these offers usually will pay you anywhere from 50 to 75%. So if you're building up a list and you don't have anything to send, that's the way to go about it. It costs nothing. All right, did you hear me? I said nothing to send out these affiliate offers. Most of the affiliate offers, all you do is you set up an account. You're going to have a user ID. You're going to generate a link, and when the people click on that link and they go to that offer and they buy it, ClickBank's going to hand you money. That's pretty cool, right? So no matter what your niche is, you can find offers at ClickBank, and there's, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of them there. ClickBank does about $500 to $600 million a year in sales, okay? And you can be part of that. So that's something you can put in your offers. Let's look at an email schedule now, what a sample one looks like. Now, I'm going to have people saying, oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to do that. Well, do whatever you want to do then. I'm just showing you what we do, what works for us, and it'll give you an idea how to set yours up, okay? Let's get started on this. Monday, content, okay? People wake up Monday morning. They don't get hit with a sale. They get hit with good content, you know, some information they can use, some stuff they can act on. Tuesday, you can do a broadcast or affiliate offer. Now, affiliate offer is the thing I just talked about where I said you can send out somebody else's offer, or what you can do is just grab one of your products, something that you think is cool and interesting, and say, hey, I'm having a sale on this particular item today. This is a one-day only sale. And I always do recommend that you try to put in there a time expiration. So, you know, midnight tonight, this thing's over with. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to send them some more content. So I got a little sandwich there, right? I'm going to give them some more information, you know, that they can find useful. And you got to give them this content, guys. Don't skip this step. Don't just hammer them for sales all the time. Thursday, we're going to do a broadcast or an affiliate offer, just like on Tuesday. Find something at ClickBank or, you know, some other person's product if you want, or just send out an offer of yours. Friday, what we're going to do is we're going to do a sequence offer. Now, what is a sequence offer? These are ones that we already have programmed into our system. So if you notice, Monday and Wednesday is content and Friday is sequence. Those are programmed into our email autoresponder. And when somebody gets on our list, they start getting these emails in this sequence. So somebody who joined, I don't know, in September is going to be on a different sequence than somebody who joined in January. They're going to be at a different stage in these sequences. Our sequences last for about 6 months. So if you get on our email list at Survival Food, you're going to see different offers each week, and they're going to change for 6 months. You're not going to see the same offer. They're all going to be different, unless I do a broadcast and then you see that offer again. But for the most part, they're all different. Now, on Friday, I'm going to tell them, we got this offer, we got this product, we've got this service, whatever it is, but it's going to end. It's going to end in 3 days. Okay. So on Saturday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sequence offer reminder. So this is an email that I've already set up in there, right? It's automatically going to go out and it's going to say, hey, that offer I told you about on Friday, I just want to remind you, it's going to die in 24 hours. It's over with. We're selling out. We don't have it anymore. And then on Sunday, I'm going to do a sequence offer ending. So I'm going to say, hey, in 6 hours, in 4 hours, in 3 hours. And some people like to send out one in the morning at 10 a.m. and another one at 6 p.m. and remind them how many hours are left. But that gives you, an overview and kind of a schedule that you can set up for yours. And I know it's a lot of work, but everything is, right? But once you have it set up, it's automatic. So I know, when somebody joins my list on Survivalcave Food, for the next 6 months, all these things are going to go out. And you eat this elephant one bite at a time. So don't say, oh my God, I got to write 6 months of emails. No, just do your Monday offers for 6 months. Okay, just do that, or 3 months, or a month. Just start there, and then once a week, add an email, add an offer, add a sequence. That's all you've got to do. Okay, so we're down to questions and answers here. And I got a bunch of questions here. All right, this person, let me get over here so I can see this. My dog is going nuts in the background, guys. That's the beauty of working online, though. You can be with your dog. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are not part of the sequence. It's up to you. They can be, or they can do broadcasts. I like to leave those 2 days open because you never know what's going to come up. Maybe you're going to get a new product. Maybe you come across a new product and you want to tell your list about it. So I like to have a couple free days in there. If you fill every single day with something in your sequence, you never can adjust, or they're going to end up getting too many emails that day. So I like to leave a couple days open so I can do that. And let's see here. And you're writing them every week. Oh, yes. No, we write them every week. We write them every single day. And somebody's saying, how do you write good emails? Ones that sell stuff. Those are the good emails. No, and I'm kidding you. But I do want to say something about emails. Too often when people do emails, they do them wrong. And understand there's 3 stages to an email. The first stage is the subject line. The subject line should get them to want to open the email. It should not sell them anything, and it should not identify what's in the email. I know that sounds insane, but we have a very short subject line for the most part. Or we'll say things like, I can't believe this just happened, or did you see this? Stuff like that they almost have to click to find out what it is. Now, once they get, inside that email, the email's job is to what? Sell them something, right? No. It's just to get them to click to go to your sales page, because they can't buy in an email. So why would you sell in an email? It makes no sense. So the email itself, should describe something that's interesting, that speaks to their pain point. Are you having this problem, this problem, this problem? If so, I've got this answer. Click here and let me give it to you. All right. The answer could be a product that solves their problem. The answer could be a course that solves their problem. So, when you send out these emails, understand that that's the 2 stages, right? Then the 3rd stage is going to be the landing page. The landing page is supposed to sell the product. When they get there, you got to have the right information, and it's got to be congruent, right? So you can't put, I don't know, I've got a chewy dog toy that is, the best flavored one in the world. Your dog's going to love it. And when they get to your page, you send them to the home page with all your toys. Doesn't make sense. Okay. So it's got to be congruent. And I talked to somebody yesterday, and they were running Facebook ads, and they ran all their ads to their homepage. Their homepage had nothing to do with what the ad said. So you can't do that. Same thing with emails. It's got to go exactly to a page that describes it. Jessica said that she had some information on that she wanted to share with you too. I'll let her get in here and speak for a second. I'll take a break.
Well, actually, Linda was just asking a question. Well, Linda's asked a couple questions that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Her first question was, She wanted to know if she could collect email addresses from a Facebook ad. And so yeah, there's two ways to do that. Facebook has lead generation ads, which are really awesome. I like them a lot personally. You still have to provide something of value up front. So it's not like you're going to run an ad and say, join my newsletter, just like you're not going to put a pop-up on your page that says, join my newsletter. You have to give them something of value that's going to make them want to click on your ad. And the really great thing about Facebook lead ads is that when they click on your ad, Facebook is going to pre-populate their name and the email address they use to log into Facebook with. So they don't have to type any of that information in. It's really convenient on the consumer's end, and you're more likely to get accurate information because it's the same email address that they log into Facebook with. And then again, you can run an ad to an opt-in page where, again, you're providing them something of value and they have to type in their email address to get it. So there's those two ways.
Yeah, it's very true, and those work very well. Christian just asked a great question. I don't even think Christian knows how good it is, but he didn't ask it in the form that he thinks he asked it in. He asked, what happens after the first 6 months? Do you keep emailing them, or at that stage, do you consider they have lost their interest in your stuff? Okay, so I want you to think about this for a second. Who out there has ever bought a mattress, which is probably everybody? Who out there has ever bought furniture, which is probably everybody? Who out there has ever bought a car, which is probably everybody? But here's the funny thing. People go ad blind. And I know I'm thinking back to a furniture store, and I want to explain to you what this means. But I'm thinking back to a furniture store that was in Virginia, and it was called Haynes. And they used to have a line in their ad. I really loved it. It says, for the first time ever this weekend. And then they would say whatever their ad is, for the first time ever this weekend. Now, if you're not in the market for furniture, you're probably not even going to notice that ad. If you're in the market for furniture and you hear for the first time ever this weekend, 70% off our entire store, you're going to go, oh my God, they're having a really cool sale down at Haynes Furniture. Same thing with cars, same things with mattresses. They run these ads every weekend. And that statement, for the first time ever this weekend, that's true because this weekend hasn't happened yet. So, you know, but it makes it sound like this sale is like the first time they've ever done the sale. They didn't say that. They said for the first time ever this weekend. Now, how does that relate to his question? Because as I send out emails, if they're not in the market for freeze-dried food, they're not in the market for canned meats, they're probably not even going to notice that. You know, they'll click on it and, you know, delete that email. But let's say a hurricane hits the town, you know, they're in Florida, and the next day they get an email from me about survival food. They're going to really notice that, okay? So the answer to your question, now it's not a long answer, but the answer to your question is I repeat after 6 months. Now, what we also do is we analyze, like if there's some products in there, we just did this the other day, we were going through and there were some products that weren't selling, which is going to happen. Not everything sells, guys. You got to pull those out and plug in some new products. So what it enables you to do, Christian, is once you run those ads, it allows you to see what's working and what's not working. So you're going to have to either change up your landing pages, and you want to see how many people opened it, your subject lines. And, you know, our software doesn't allow us to see how many people open these sequence emails, but it does on the broadcast. So that's why we'll stick a broadcast in there every now and then, because if one's not opening or it's not selling, we can look at that. And if that's something that is also in our sequence, we can make that change, and we can actually, you know, switch it out, and that helps us improve that email sequence. So that's a great question, Kristen. It really is. Somebody else is asking, I read somewhere that Facebook doesn't like or allow ads to opt-ins. Do you know what they meant by that? That's totally not true. There's tons of ads to opt-ins. Facebook does not mind that one bit. Matter of fact, they have a platform, like Jessica just said, where you can just let people opt in. They'll allow you to do it, you know, on their own platform, because they already know their email address. And if it's a Facebook opt-in ad, they click on it, their email's there, and they click OK. That's it. So I'm not sure where you got that information, but they do allow it. Now, you don't want to mislead them, you know. And somebody said the other day that they lost their account because they were doing free plus shipping ads, and Facebook killed their account. That's not why they killed their account. I'm telling you, that's not why. The reason they killed their account is because they didn't tell people it was free plus shipping. They just said, get this free item. And when they got to the page, they had to pay, and they didn't state in their ad that you charge for shipping and handling. So we do free plus shipping and handling offers all the time. We don't have any problem. But, you know, if Facebook disallows something or Facebook kills your account, it's because you violated their rules. And you can't say, well, I didn't know that was a rule, because they publish their rules. So, you know, somebody's saying that their list is the most important thing they have. Yes, it is. Your list, I mean, my God, your list is almost more important than the first product you ever sell. I know people who just generate leads for their list and send out affiliate offers. That's all they do. They don't even have products. They just build lists. They get people to opt in for a particular niche. They go out and find affiliate offers and they send it out. There are literally people on ClickBank making millions of dollars a year who have no products whatsoever of their own. None. They just come up with a niche. They build out this email list and they just send stuff out to it. So it's really pretty amazing. Somebody's saying, I want to do that. I want to, yeah, well, you can do it, but keep in mind, if you're just an affiliate marketer, you don't do anything but affiliate offers, and you want to sell your business one day, you know, all you've got is a list. You don't have a product, you don't have a name, you don't have a brand, you got nothing. You've got a list. So, you know, lists are good, but it's really better to have that associated with a niche and some products, you know, whether it be digital or physical products. Somebody's asking, can I do digital and physical? Yeah, you can. As a matter of fact, we sell survival food. But you know what? I train people on e-commerce too, and I have several courses. Jessica, if you don't mind, we have a new course that came out. Somebody was asking, what's the course? We have one called ecomroad.com. And that is a course, very inexpensive, but it's very detailed, and it shows you how to start, run, and grow an e-commerce business. It gives you all the tools to do that. Excuse me, Jessica. Somebody's also asking about our Facebook group. Let me get a drink of water. 1 second. Yes, the Facebook group. It's a great group. It's called, we have changed it. We used to call it Digital Cash Academy, which is one of another course we have, but we have opened it up to some of my coaching clients. I have a lot of coaching clients now, so we've opened it up to them. So you've got some pretty high level people in there too, guys. But that's the Art of E-commerce Success. So you can search that, the Art of E-commerce Success. That is out there. And guys, I'm really running long here, longer than I normally do. So if you have any questions, I know I'm trying to answer them all. I can't get to all of them. If you would type them in that box there, I can take maybe 2 more questions. So if you've got something, you had a problem with something, you tried something, it didn't work, or you got something that is working, type that in the comment box there. Somebody's saying it's totally true. I make more off my list than I do off my ads. Yes, that is definitely true. That can happen. Somebody's saying, which email provider would you recommend? You know, if you're starting off and you don't have money, go with Aweber. Jessica has put a link in there where you can get a discount on that. If you're starting off and you do have some money, which is not the majority of us, I started off with $100, but go with Infusionsoft, because you're going to have to end up going to them anyhow at some point once you build out these campaigns. So, okay. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and end now. I mean, this has been a really great session. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. I know I really appreciate the input. You guys have great questions, and that always makes us think. But get out there and build your email list. You've got some tools to do it. You know, go back through this video, watch it again, set those things up. Send me your comments in the Facebook group. I love hearing all your successes. Steve said he just joined the group. We got to welcome Steve. I got to get over there and get you approved, Steve. Just make sure you answer those questions. Put your email in there. Get it? Put your email in there. You're going to get on our list, but that's okay. We're just going to send you good stuff. We don't email our list in there every day. We only do that with the survival food one. So yep, we're going to welcome Steve. We got a bunch of new members this week. So at some point today, guys, that's another thing I would ask that you do when we get new members. Welcome them in there. You know, tell them where you're from, what you do, what your experience is. And if you're a new member, you know, tell a little bit about yourself. Everybody loves to hear that. Steve says he's laughing now because he's on my list, but that's okay. We'll only send you some good stuff. So if you enjoyed this, guys, you know, post your comments down there. If you think you got something out of it, something that's going to make you, somebody says it's cool, it's awesome, it's wonderful, thank you very much. Yeah, if you got some value out of this, you know, put it in there. It makes me feel good. It makes me want to do more, right? So pump up my ego a little bit, right? And that way we can get you more information, share all this stuff with you that we do every single day. Somebody's asking about coaching. I do some coaching. I have very limited spots on that. You'll probably just want to direct message me and I can get you some information on that. I don't have any spots left this week. but I do have, I think, one coming up, something like that. One or two, maybe. Jessica's saying maybe two. She wants to work me harder. So you can, send me a message on that. Say you want some coaching. Somebody's asking what we do on that. We do everything. If I'm coaching you one-on-one, and like I said, we don't take everybody. It's actually an application process. But I walk you through step by step on these coaching calls. I tell you exactly what to do. So that's the real inside, I guess. Linda says she loves the idea of building a list first. Yes, it's so much smarter than trying to build it after the fact. So you can start a niche. You can start a Facebook group with an interest. The lady I was talking to in Spain is in a turtle niche. So she can start a turtle site, but what she's really selling is a turtle necklace. So then she can sell turtle bracelets and turtle shirts because people who like turtles buy turtle everything, right? So that's a niche. So you guys, thank you very much. I will see you on the next call. Have a wonderful Friday afternoon, and I'm off to lunch with my wife. Talk to you later.